Hello students, welcome to your chemistry classmate. In today's lecture, we shall continue few more objective models from the gas state. I already did one lecture in the last video I already uploaded to you. So in this session, we shall continue few more expected models. So very important models. Look at as per my textbook, it is 154 question. So the RMS velocity of hydrogen is root 7 times the RMS velocity of nitrogen. If T is the temperature of the gas, then so some options given: temperature of hydrogen versus temperature of nitrogen combination is given. First of all, what is the RMS velocity formula? So RMS velocity formula root 3 RT by m. This is the formula you know. Now as per the given combination, root 3 R TH2 by 2 is equal to root 7 times 3R TN2 by 28. Is it correct? The notation is it correct or not? Observe here. Because RMS velocity of hydrogen nothing but this is hydrogen. 3R T by M H2 we are taken. Root 7 times with N2. Same formula. So if you square on both sides, what you get here? 3RTH2 by 2 equal to 7 into 3RTN2 by 28. Is it okay? So here how many times it will be? 4 times. And here it is 2 times. And 3 cancel. Then Tn2 equal to 2 into TH2. See that. Temperature of nitrogen equal to 2 times of hydrogen. Then what is the option here? What is the option you get? Which is more here? Nitrogen is more. That is why you'll get the option C. Is it clear? So very simple model and very important model. Now look at the next question. At STP, a container has 1 mole of argon, 2 moles of carbon dioxide, 3 moles of O2 and 4 moles of N2. Okay. Without changing the total pressure, if 1 mole of the O2 is removed, then the partial pressure of O2. As per the given data, observe here, just imagine this is one container. Okay, one container. It contains how many moles of argon? 1 mole of argon, carbon dioxide 2 moles, and oxygen 3 moles, and nitrogen 4 moles. Okay, total how many? 7 plus 3, so 10 moles. 10 moles. From here, they said that 1 mole of O2 removed. 1 mole of O2 removed. Is it okay? Then what they asked? The partial pressure of, that means partial pressure produced by this O2, how much they asked. You know, each and every gas they can produce as their partial pressure. You know, partial pressure of the any gas directly proportional to their mole fraction. This is the basic formula we know. Now here, what is the mole fraction of O2? Mole fraction of O2 equal to, so number of moles of O2 by total number of moles. So 3 by 10. Okay, for flexibility, just you multiply with 100, then you'll get here 30. Is it okay? Now at final stage, what is the mole fraction of O2? They removed 1 mole. That means at final stage you'll get here 2 by 9. Is it okay? 2 by 9. Initially 3, they removed 1. That is why here also 1 decreased, here also 1 decreased. Then what is the change? So change in the mole means final stage mole fraction of O2 equal to 3 by 10 minus 2 by 9. For flexibility, multiply with 100. You will get 8. If you simplify, you will get 8. Is it okay? Therefore, percentage change is equal to 8 by 30. Final 8, initial 30 into 100. You got identify percentage. That is why you will get, if you simplify, you will get 26 percentage. 26 percentage. Is it okay? So observe here, what is the procedure I done here? I hope you understood. Then what is our answer now? It changed by 26%. Is it clear? So very simple model, important model. Right. Look at the next question. The relationship which describes the variation of pressure with temperature. So vapor pressure with temperature. So vapor pressure with temperature, nothing but there is a, what is that? The Clausius-Clapeyron equation, direct basic equation. You know, ln natural logarithm P2 by P1 is equal to minus delta H vapors by R into 1 by T2 minus 1 by T1. This is the Clausius-Clapeyron equation. It is a relationship between pressure and temperature for conditions of equilibrium between two phases. The two phases could be vapor and solid for sublimation or solid and liquid for melting. Is it clear? That is the basic definition of the Clausius-Clapeyron equation. Direct question. So that is why answer is D. Now look at the next question. Gas equation PV equal to nRT is obeyed by isothermal, only adiabatic, both A and B, none of this. So ideal gas equation obeyed for isothermal as well as adiabatic also. You know, isothermal process nothing but it is a thermodynamic process in which temperature of a system remains constant. That means delta T equal to 0. Okay, adiabatic process nothing but where the system exchanges no heat with its surroundings. That means Q equal to 0. Both the cases it is applicable. Is it clear? So that is why both A and B. Now look at the 158 question. Question number 158. If 0.44 grams of colorless oxide of nitrogen occupies 224 milliliters at 1520 millimeters of mercury at 273 degrees centigrade, then the compound is. So here it is a small logic. Two conditions we have to apply because 0.44 grams of colorless oxide given. So nitrogen oxide given. So given conditions, and you can take STP conditions. The flexibility is STP condition. If you know, then automatically we can guess its molecular weight. So given condition nothing but you can take P1 V1 by T1. STP nothing but you can take P2 V2 by T2. So given condition P1 how much given? 1520 millimeters into volume how much given? 224 by temperature in degrees centigrade given. If you convert plus 273, then you will get here 546 equal to P2. So at STP condition P2 nothing but what is the pressure? 760 millimeters into V2 we don't know, and temperature you know 273 Kelvin. So if you simplify, all the terms will be cancelled, then V2 equal to will get 224. Okay, so at STP we got this volume. Now as per the gram molar volume, you know 22,400 milliliters of any substance is equal to its gram molecular weight. You know that. Is it okay? Now at 224 already volume weight given. That means at 224 milliliters gas weight equal to 0.44 grams. So at 22,400 milliliters how much? As per the mole concept, if you identify the weight at this volume, you will get the molecular weight. So if you simply will get 44 grams. Now among the four options which is equal to the 44, observe here n nothing but see 14 plus 32. 14 plus 32, it is not equal. 2 into 14 plus 16, so it is equal, see that. This is equal to 44 grams. Is it clear? So very simple method and very small logic involved in this question. Is it okay? So that is why as per the given data, the gas is N2O. Right? Now look at the next question. If oxygen is present in 1 liter flask, at a pressure of 7.6 into 10 power minus 10 millimeters of mercury, then the number of oxygen molecules in the flask at 0 degrees centigrade will be. See that as per the given data directly you can apply the PV equal to nRT formula. From here we have to identify first n equal to PV by RT. So P value how much given? 7.6 into 10 power minus 10 by 760 atmospheres, converted into atmospheres. And here it is 1 liter by, what is the R value here? 8.314 liter atmosphere Kelvin inverse mole inverse. Is it okay? T value how much it is? 273 Kelvin. 273 Kelvin. So if you simplify all the terms will cancel, then you get here 4.4 into 10 power minus 16 moles. Okay, this is the in terms of moles, but answer they ask in terms of molecules, the number of oxygen molecules they asked. Then what we should do? We multiply with Avogadro number. So 4.4 into 10 power minus 16 into 6.023 into 10 power 23. So if you simple will get 2.7 into 10 power 8. Is it okay? But this is not given in terms of 10 power 10 they given. That is why this value you can write as 0.027 into. Is it okay? 2.7 into 10 power 8 you can write as 0.027 10 power. So the option is D. Is it clear? So direct substitution, very simple method. Is it okay? Now look at the next question. A relation between vapor pressure and the temperature is known as, just now we got, that is also again Clapeyron equation, direct. And the next question number 161. So this is the important, just only conversion of the units. What are the given terms? Either the surface tension of water at 20 degrees centigrade is 72.75 dyne centimeter inverse. Its value in SI system. So CGS system given, we had to identify SI system. In this kind of units you can take, so here number 1 and unit 1, number 2 and unit 2 can take. Number 1 nothing but here it is 72.75 dyne centimeter inverse. Unit is dyne centimeter inverse. Number 2, what is the they are asking about the unit system in SI unit system. That is why we can take this is number nothing but we can take it is X, and unit nothing but Newton per meter. Is it okay? So in the CGS system 72.75 is the number. In SI system the number we have to identify. In CGS system unit is dyne centimeter inverse. In SI system it is Newton per meter. Then you can write it is N1 U1 equal to N2 U2. Is it okay? Then from here N2 equal to what we can write? N1 U1 by U2. Then it is equal to N1 nothing but 72.75 into U1 nothing but dyne per centimeter. Is it okay? Into means divided by Newton per meter. That means what we can write it is meter per Newton we can write. Is it okay? So now what we can write it is 72.75 into dyne per Newton we can take here, and meter per centimeter we can take here. You know 1 Newton equal to 10 power 5 dynes. Otherwise 1 dyne equal to 10 power minus 5 newtons. Is it clear? If you substitute here, what you get here 72.75 into 10 power 5 minus 5 newtons by Newton into 100 centimeters by centimeter. Is it okay? Now Newton cancel, centimeter cancel, then you will get here 10 power minus 3. So automatically you will get 0.07275. Is it okay? In SI system generally what is the unit? Newton per meter. So this is the conversion. Is it okay? This is one of the important method to convert from one unit to another unit. This is the way. So finally what is the answer? 0.07275. Is it okay? Right. What is the correct option here? C. Now in SI system the units of coefficient of viscosity it are. So this is the basically directly based on the unit, that is you know in CGS system that is poise or gram centimeter inverse second inverse. Okay, in MKS system or SI system it is kg per meter second, otherwise kg meter inverse second inverse. So directly this is the answer. Is it okay? Now look at the next question. The vapor pressure of water at 100 degrees centigrade is, at 100 degrees centigrade vapor pressure nothing but it is equal to atmospheric pressure, because at 100 degrees centigrade it is started the vaporization. That is what we will get here 76 centimeters or 760 millimeters. So then what is your appropriate answer here? 76 centimeters. Is it okay? Right. Look at the next question. With increase of temperature, the coefficient of viscosity of liquid. Okay, if temperature increases, okay, intermolecular forces decreases. Okay, automatically viscosity decreases. Is it clear? Right. So that is why what is the answer here? What about the asking here? Coefficient of viscosity decreases. Okay. So remaining questions also almost the same model. So we will meet again in another video lecture. So by the time do practice it. I hope you are following videos comfortably. So please subscribe it and share it. Thank you.